Days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you, you give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
We've been talking a lot, not a lot, because I don't tend to, want to spend a whole lot of time on, what men should be doing and women and blah, blah, blah. But we were talking briefly this week about Cam Newton because he sat down with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and they had a conversation, and Nick Cannon had spoken with her as well. And the conversations around having all these children, and he's with this Cam Newton with a woman and telling Dr. Cheyenne he's still looking for his wife, which if I'm that woman, I'm feeling some way. I just had I'm pregnant with your ninth child or whatever. I'm like, really? Like, and all of the ways in which, folk may be mad at Russell Wilson is trending because he loves his family. People mad. Why y'all mad about, or jealous of Sierra or whatever? I'm like, listen. There's a lot happening, but there was this video that went around. I think it was on Instagram, and I want to play it. It's 4 minutes long, but it was a woman. She's fed up. She's at her wit's end, Dr. Robin. She's getting a divorce, and she was saying some things though that I feel like a lot of women are feeling, and it comes off as women just want to dominate. No, just the opposite. But I want you to hear what she's saying. I want to talk about it, and I want to invite people also to join us in conversation. It's the Karen Hunter Show. The number here is 866-801-TALK. This is Mama Say, Mama Saw on TikTok. Play it, Smith.
I may make light of the reasons why I'm getting a divorce, but truly one of the biggest ones is I've been in this masculine energy for so long that I have lost my identity. Like, I really feel like a damn man for most of the time in this relationship. I have endured things that no woman should have to deal with when it comes down to things like protection. Imagine now, my son, one of them, teenage son, not 5 years old, teenage son, thought he was going to be in an altercation with another guy. I had no idea. He walks past his dad, he walks past his brother, and he says, "Mom, come with me. This guy is talking shit, and I want, I think it was his computer or something. He wanted something back." Without hesitation, I jump in the car. My gimpy, post-stroke surviving self jumped in the car to take this boy to meet this kid for a potential altercation with no hesitation. I drive him over there, and he actually gets into a fight. Just think about that. In a crisis, in a potential situation of harm, his instincts is to seek me out, like to forego his dad or his brother, but seek me out, like I'm the fucking goon in the family. I've been masculine for so long that we actually will go somewhere. I'll come out to the car, and my husband and my son are sitting in passenger seats. Nobody's in the driver's seat. They're waiting for me. I've been in this masculine energy so long that I don't even recall more than 4 or 5 times, I'm 56, even talking about or discussing menopause or understanding that some of the emotional changes or the changes in my skin or all these different changes are coming from that. No concept of it. My brother-in-laws used to talk mad shit to me, just the most inappropriate, most vulgar things that they could say to me. And because I think maybe because of the military, likely, I would just talk shit back. But the fact that my husband allowed it in his presence for them to say the most deplorable things, the most disgusting, vulgar things to me, and him not feel the need to protect me from them, that's crazy. And it didn't even occur to me until my boys got older. Like, so we're talking about years. When my boys got like 8 and 11 years old and they were actually in the room and noticing this, that's when I spoke up. Because it occurred to me that my sons were witnessing the disrespect and how their uncles were treating women. And I didn't want that to be their standard. And when I approached my husband about it, he said, "Oh, well, you seemed fine and you were giving it right back to him. But were you fine with it, sir?" I've been masculine for so long. I'm constantly thinking about filters. HVAC filter, water dispenser filter, the air filters in the car. I was reading this whole list about if you've been imbalanced for so long, and I'm checking all the boxes. The self-care that's for shit, the freaking burnout, the stress that I've been carrying, and just the impact it has had on my physical body. Like, I walk around every day with a headache of some degree, literally every day. And
Okay.
sure, it
All
makes
right. So that I wonder if she's alone. I play that. Is this anybody else's experience? 866-801-8255. Dr. Robin, you see a lot of people. You counsel a lot of people. Is this common? You're muted. Okay, that's all right.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's common, but I'll tell you what's more common is how she went missing and didn't know it. You know, we have a fantasy that we will go missing and someone will come, you know, a search and rescue will come to get us. And the person who needs to know that you are missing first is you.
Is you. Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. I mean, people don't want to hear that. They're like, yeah, but my husband, I'm like, no, I get that. But before we can start addressing your husband and how could he have allowed what he allowed? The question is what was turned off in you? And I'm not just talking about this woman, her courage to share her pain and her awakening. But the part that I want to encourage her and everyone else who can identify with this is what is it that you need to do today to recognize that quite possibly you have gone missing and no one, including you, is looking for you. You know, when's the last time someone saw you? In my book, Hungry, I have a chapter and I talk about, when's the last time someone saw the real you? Not the image of you, not the airbrushed you, but when's the last time you saw you? And I really am asking people who are listening today, have you seen yourself? Did you know that you were missing? Did you know that you've had experiences where people are degrading you and you're actually laughing and participating, whether it is sexually or about race or about weight? You know, women who are degraded about their appearance and they laugh along when actually they're hurting. And so I'm inviting today that you take your own temperature and ask yourself, how am I doing? For real, how am I?
You know, it's wild. I started the show talking about the questions and the importance of asking ourselves questions, that it forces our brain to not just search for answers, but to pause in the search, right? And the deep questions that we ask ourselves will not return void, right? The answer will come to you. But as I was listening to this woman, the problem that I was hearing was not her husband. It was you teach people how to treat you. And I feel like so many people in relationships like this stay because of the children. They don't want the sons, you know, much like we were watching with the daughters. Husbands, fathers in children's lives, important. They're important. So you don't want to deprive your children of having their dad. But research shows that happy mothers have the greatest impact on the success of a child's life. Happy mothers.
Yes.
Happy mothers. So you can extricate yourself from that relationship, still have the man involved in your child's life without sacrificing yourself and your happiness, your joy, your peace, your wholeness in the midst of it.
Yes.
I don't know if that's professional,
No,
advice.
absolutely.
It's just
No, it's solid. It's solid. And Karen, the truth also is that it's not just happy mothers, but it's mothers who have prioritized their own self-care. So women, and I hear this so often, can wear this badge we might consider of honor about being exhausted. And we can do a laundry list of how tired and tapped out, and our kids are coming to us and not going to a husband or an ex-husband. But what we haven't done, and you just pointed to this, is to ask, what's happened to me that I'm participating in that? And how was I conditioned? How was I groomed by society, groomed by our family's culture, but how was I groomed to participate in such self-neglect? And so every woman who is listening today, that's a question. It's not a blaming question, but it's a question of curiosity. How did I learn to operate on empty and flash a badge as if somehow that's my birthright?
Yes, let's take some calls. We have a few minutes left. Dr. Robin Smith, absolutely correct. Ivory in Illinois, thank you for calling. You're on the Karen Hunter Show. It's Wellness Wednesday. Hi.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Dr. Robin. It's first time calling, but I listen to your show all the time.
Thank you.
So the lady that was on that clip, and I apologize, I don't remember her name, but
well, she did. It's called Mama Say, Mama Saw on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out because that hit me hard. I'm not in the same situation. I'm not married anymore, but I was. But what I'm saying is that I can relate. It made me sad and it made me laugh the way she was talking, and it's not funny. But we do that where we put other people first. I have a child. He has some special needs, so that comes first. I'm a nurse. I go to school. There's so many things that we do. But what made me laugh, and this is not funny, like I feel like the man sometimes, even though I don't, his father's not in his life, but I feel like I have to do everything, which I do. I have support, but I still have to do so much. But self-care I make time for, because if I don't, I feel like I'm going to go crazy. So I do the small, littlest things that I can do to keep myself sane. But I always think about my father who's passed on. He taught me what a man should be like. He was married to my mom for 42 years. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good man. And he taught me what a man should be like. And I find it hard to find somebody because I hold the standard up to him. I struggle there.
Ivory, I just want to ask you something, and thank you so much for sharing your story. When you say that you have this standard of your father, I'm wondering who taught you that you matter?
Both of my parents. I mean, I can't say they didn't, because they did. Yeah. My mother was strong. My father was the head, but my mom was the neck. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not saying they're perfect, no, but they're good parents. They're damn good parents. Yeah. And I struggle.
So do you know that do you see yourself as a damn good parent?
I hope I do. I'm not.
Yeah. But wait a minute. I just heard a chuckle. I heard, well, I hope I see. It's interesting that you can lift your parents up, but I want to make sure that you're also able to lift yourself up.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I am a good parent, Dr. Robin. I am a good parent. I am a good parent.
So I want you to walk and strut in that. I mean, I want you to claim that in a new way, so that as you are doing, you said little things of self-care, that you can actually begin to claim your unapologetic right to prioritize yourself, particularly given that you have a special needs child.
Ashe, yes.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. With these eyes looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.